friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video I am going to be working on another spread using my July Stories by the Month kit from Ali Edwards. This was the physical kit that was released this year for 2021, and I really took inspiration from a couple of pieces here for the story that I'm going to tell. The first is this awesome cork word, which you guys know I have just been loving these. So this one has the word celebrate on it, and I loved the way that this little piece that says the 4th fit in the circle portion of the bee. So I thought it would be fun to talk about celebrating the 4th of July. And since at the point in time where I'm putting this spread together, we haven't had our 4th of July for this year yet, I thought it would be fun to go back to an older one and tell the story of maybe one of the first times we celebrated in our downtown as a family, because now that's pretty much what we do is we walk to our downtown to enjoy the parade and all the other festivities as well. So I have this picture of myself and my husband Aaron and our daughter Isabella. This was before Jonah was born. I was actually pregnant with him during this summer. So I was pregnant but it was just still the three of us when this photo was taken. So this is, I want to say, from 2018, I believe. And then what I did is I paired this with a couple of the journaling cards in order to create a 12 by 12 spread. And I did go ahead and add my journaling onto this card that says remember, which I took from the aspect of remembering what this celebration this year looked like. So my text is on here, which I ran this through my printer. I do have a tutorial available if that's something you want to learn how to do. And then from there, I'm just going to go ahead and get everything assembled onto the page. Just as a quick reference, if this is a design concept that you also like, the photo is printed at roughly 9¼ inches wide by about 6 inches tall. So that just gives you a little bit of sizing in case this is an idea that you like. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead, dive into the spread and get you guys sped up. I'll talk you through the process, and then once I have this done, we'll slow back down in order to close out for today. To get started with my spread for today, the first thing I'm going to do is arrange everything on this 12 by 12 piece of textured white cardstock. So to help me figure out exactly where to place everything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the tiniest bit of adhesive directly into the middle of the elements and stick them down onto the paper so that I can then grab my ruler and measure everything to make sure it's all even and centered. It's a little tricky to do this without, like, say, a T-square. I probably, if I owned a T-square, that would have been a little bit easier for getting things centered, but we figured it out anyways, or I figured it out anyways, and if I can, you can too. So you don't have to have a T-square. So I'm just going to move those embellishments to the side there. I did stick them on originally just so I could remember what the heck I was going to do with this spread. And then here's where you can see that I've got everything sort of stuck down. It's just not permanently stuck down. And then with my ruler, I'm making sure that everything is spaced evenly from side to side. And then also, it doesn't necessarily matter to me top to bottom. I feel like visually this looked perfectly fine, so I was okay with that. Then once I've got it all where I want it to go, I'm going to start with the photo, pull that back up, and then add adhesive to the full back of the photo and stick it back down. One of the nice things about using textured white cardstock is because of the texture, it is a little bit easier to pull things back up if you make a mistake, because it's not like it takes a little bit for it to fully adhere to the page. So I stick this down. It all looks great. I'm going to press it all down, turn it on its side, and realize that it's a little bit crooked. So then I'm going to peel it back up, and it comes up super, super easy. Readjust it a little bit so that I can make sure that it is nice and evenly spaced there at the top as well. So that means that my cards underneath are also slightly tilted. And now that I've got my photo in a better orientation and, better spacing, I can then adjust my cards as well, because those are also not permanently adhered quite yet. So I'm going to pick up the middle one first, add my adhesive onto the back of that one, and then position that where I want it to go and stick it down. I was pretty happy with my spacing in between my cards and knew that I really didn't need to measure, that I was totally fine with how they looked. It was visually appealing. It didn't bother me in any way, shape, or form. So down it went. One of the things I really enjoyed about this spread, and what I think makes it look so good in the end, is that I ordered the cards here. I did red and then white with the remember text and then blue. So it's kind of like the flag colors there, red, white, and blue. And then I also will add some embellishments in there as well to bring up some of the texture and give it a little bit more dimension, making it not as flat. Now, because it was, very stark, clean lines and all of that, I did want to add something a little bit messier, and I'm going to say messier in quotation marks because I still sew in pretty straight lines. Like, I didn't do messy stitching, but having some stitching around the outside of it would give it a border, but then would also give it a little bit more texture and some quote unquote messiness. So I love that. I think that really added a lot to this spread. And I chose to stitch around it in red so that you could really see all of the stitching and all of that texture. So next we're going to add on my title, which is going to say Celebrate the 4th. So I took the cork piece that says Celebrate. I added some liquid adhesive glue to the back. It is the Tombow Mono Multi-Matte Liquid glue, and just dabbed it all over the back side, and then I pressed it down onto the photo where it's going to permanently sit. And I decided to keep it fully on the photo and to not break the white space in between the photo and the cards because I like the way that is a clean grid. I then took the 4th chipboard, so it's a red chipboard that has a 4th on it, stuck that down in the circle part of the B, and then put the July Joys on the July card. So we've got some blue that's breaking up all of that red. I'm going to date stamp this, and then my spread will be done, which is a spread all about how we celebrated 4th of July back in 2018. All right, friends, that finishes my spread for today. I really, 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 really love the way that this one turned out. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that I am just the biggest fan of grids, of grid layouts, and this one just makes my grid loving heart so happy. This was an excellent way to use a couple of journaling cards on a 12 by 12 canvas as well. So if you are a traditional scrapbooker, but you get these kits that have cards in them, consider using them in a grid to create some kind of really clean look like this one. It turned out really nicely, and it just looks like everything belongs to exactly where it is. So, yeah, super love it. I hope that you enjoyed seeing this spread come together. If you did, I would love a thumbs up on this video down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button while you're there so you can check out all of my future crafty content here on YouTube. And if you're looking for even more than what you see here, I do also have a Patreon where I am uploading all kinds of additional content. So you can check out more about that by following the link down in my description. All right, well, I will be back again later this week with some additional layouts and process videos for you. So hopefully I will see you back here then. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, friends.